All right, James. Top 5 worst films. Off you go.
All right. Well, we're not going to rank these from worst to best or best to worst, however you want to consider a worst list. But these are just the 5 worst ones to me for 2023. So let's just get the obvious one out of the way. Next goal wins.
I knew it.
Yeah. Everyone who's listened to us will know exactly where I'm going with this. I'm not going to speak on this one too much. But honestly, Next Goal Wins was one of the most unbearable cinematic experiences of my life, let alone 2023. If we were doing 5 worst of my lifetime, Next Goal Wins has a really good chance of making it. I just couldn't stand it. I wanted to leave. I wanted to play Tiggy with the kids in that cinema who were playing it during the movie. And I truly, truly hope this is the last time I will ever have to say Next Goal Wins. I'm sure this is not going to be another time where I need to say those words or speak about this movie. So good riddance. The next one I got is the Super Mario Bros. Movie. Now, to the movie's credit, I had maybe one too many wines before actually going to go see it. But, you can have as much wine as you want. It does not help you have a better experience with this movie because I was still really not enjoying it. It was just, it was cringy. It's Illumination Studios at its worst. I didn't like it. I see the appeal. I don't have any kind of childhood nostalgia or childhood love towards the game, so I'm not gonna resonate it with on that kind of level at all. So not for me. I didn't like that movie, but I'm glad a lot of people really had fun with it, so that was a good thing at least. The next one I got is The Marvels. I wish I could speak more on this movie, but I forgot nearly the whole thing. I genuinely have, man. I don't know. A lot of that movie has blown me by, but I remember not liking it, and just the fact that it was so unforgettable. And that's why it made this list, is because it's extremely unforgettable. I can't recall a single scene. I can recall some moments, but I just can't recall a scene. That's pretty rare for movies with me. I usually remember a lot when it comes to movies, but not The Marvels. The next one I got is Napoleon. Or as me and Nayan like to call it, Borpolian, because my goodness. Look, there's a lot to love and appreciate in Napoleon. The action battle sequences are choreographed amazingly. They're shot brilliantly. The lighting, costume design, all that stuff. On the technical side of things, it's really a magnificent piece of filmmaking, especially for the year of 2023. But in terms of, these are worst movies and they're very subjective. And for me, it was a really painful movie to get through just because it was boring. I could never watch it again. It's just so slow. And if there's one of those movies that I don't want to see ever again from 2023, Next Goal wins, but Napoleon is a close second in terms of not wanting to watch that again. And the final one I got is kind of just like a throwaway because it's ghosted and it's just, it's just not really expected to be good. If you ever wanted to know if Ana de Armas and Chris Evans had chemistry, they don't. And they're not the greatest actors. And if you give them a bad script, they're going to make it even worse. And it's another movie there I don't really remember too much, but I just remember it being kind of cringy and just really cheap, bland filmmaking, just designed to help Amazon Prime get some subscribers, if that's the right studio that I'm thinking of. I think it's Amazon Prime movie.
I can't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, but those are my 5 worst of 2023. I would not want to watch any one of those again. It's very subjective. I had a list of around 10 that I was considering, and these 5 were the clear ones that stuck with me on that one. I found value in those other ones, at least.
All right. So my top 5, same as James. It's in no particular order, but we'll start off with our similar ones that we have on our lists. So the first one I've got is Next Goal Wins. I'm with James in regards to how this is probably the worst film of 2023 that we saw. It is Taika Waititi at his absolute worst. Pure unfunny jokes, cringe, The characters had no arc or satisfying arc. It was just horrendous. I recommend you do not go see it. The next one I have is Ghosted. You would think that Chris Evans and Ana de Armas would have chemistry. I mean, they had decent chemistry in Knives Out. But I guess it's a completely different relationship. And the fact that there was a scene where they had to CGI Chris Evans' face on his own body. Like, we saw it in the trailer. Like, you know a film's going to be shit when you see that. Mm-hmm. And the next one that we have in common is Napoleon. Sorry.
You were about to say Napoleon.
There's Napoleon. This film, when the trailer first came out, James and I were like, oh shit, Ridley Scott could be back. Like, this looks like an absolute masterpiece. And then when we were in the cinema watching the film, James had to entertain himself by throwing any piece of rubbish he could get his hands on me. And he just
the ice block wrappers, bro. I'm so glad they were there.
Yeah, like James found more entertainment throwing his ice cream wrappers at me than the actual film, and I was more entertained by telling James to fuck off than the actual film. And it just felt like as the film went on for like 4 hours, it was just, ugh. If you want to talk to someone, make them watch Napoleon. The other one I have here is one we saw at the film festival. It's Fallen Leaves. So before James and I went to see this, it was, it still actually might be 100% Rotten Tomatoes. We saw it, we saw the premise, and we're like, yo, this is going to be a fantastic film.
It's going to be good.
We rocked up to the cinema, and we watched the film, and we walked out, and we were like, what a waste of fucking time and money. Like, it was just so boring. The characters were bland and boring as well. The story just went nowhere. I was just, ugh, next.
Yeah, and that was a close one to making it for mine. Ugh.
Yeah. And the last one I have is Wish. And I think I dislike Wish a lot more than James, that's for sure.
I think so, yeah.
Mainly because of the goat. I really did not like the goat. I wish I didn't have the goat. They tried to make the goat funny, and it just came off as cringe. Literally no one was laughing. Like, this was supposed to be Disney's film to celebrate 100 years off their studio. And they gave us Wish. They gave us Wish.
They shat on 100 years of history right 100%.
There. And the callbacks and references to the previous Disney films were just like, is that it? Like, oh, God. I wish Disney...
The Bambi one was the worst.
I forgot about that. But yeah, the goat, I hate him. And I hate Wish, and I hate all these 5 movies. So let's just go into something a bit more positive, which is our top 10 films for 2023.